In March 2011, the 16 years old Nick Awozio launched the app called Samly that turned the long news articles into the short, easy to read summaries. The app instantly received 100,000 downloads and attracted venture capital investments. Less than 2 years later, the app was acquired by the Yahoo for the $30 million, making Nick Awiso the millionaire before hitting 18. But not everyone gets such an opportunity to become so rich in such a young age. However, that doesn't mean that there is nothing you can do. In fact, if you make a few right financial decisions, when you are still a teenager, you are almost certainly going to become the wealthy in your 20s or maybe 30s. While it's difficult to imagine yourself hitting the 30 when you are just 15 years old, trust me, it's going to happen much sooner than you think. And building wealth later is much more difficult because now you don't have all of these expenses that adults usually have, such as the paying rent, buying the groceries, and so on. The moment you step into the life where you have to pay the rent and feed yourself, there is no going back. You automatically have fixed expenses that you can get rid of. By the way, I have the confessions to make when I was like 15 years old. I had no idea that the stock market is. I have heard about it in the news. I had heard people talking about it, but I literally had no idea what is that and how does it work. So if you are watching this video as a teenager, I'm jealous. I wish I was smart enough to learn about investments when I was 15 years old. To make this video, I asked myself what are the things I wish I knew when I was a teenager. What the different financial decisions I would have taken. How would I start building wealth if I would like 14, 15 or 16 years old? If you are a teenager watching this video, this is probably going to be one of the most important things you will ever learn. Even if you are the slightly elder, I am sure information can help you as well. So if you are ready to give this video the thumbs up, and let's get right into it. Compound investments is the best tools under your arsenal. The most powerful tool as a teenager you have is the compound invest. If you don't take advantage out of it, you are literally wasting your teenage years. If you don't know what compound investment is and how it can help you, don't worry, because I also don't know that when I was a teenager. Considering a simple example, if you are given the choice between taking the $3 million in the cash this very moment or a single penny that doubles every day for the next 31 days, which one would you choose? At first glance, it seems like the choosing the $1 million is the wiser options, but if you take the moment and think about it, you will realize that penny that doubles for the next 31 days is far better choice. In the first 5 days, the penny that doubles every day turns into the single dollar. By the 10th day, it increased by $5.12. Even with the next 10 days, by the day 20th, you are going to get only $5,200. If you have chosen the penny, you probably regret it because you are only getting a little over 5K instead of the $3 million. That could instantly change your life. But if you give it a little more time, the amount would increase over the $10 million by the 31st day. Even on the day 29th, it would only grow to $2.7 million. The biggest difference happens in the last 2 days. So if you start investing while you are still 15 years old, you can reap the rewards of the compounding investments and become ultra rich by the time you are 30, for example. But because you are not going to see any significant progress in the first year or so, as it's with the penny, in this first 20 days, most people don't start early. Of course, you can start investing if you are under 18, but you can open the custodial account. That means an adult, most likely one of your parents, must open the account with you and be the custodian, and you can start investing. Of course, it's risky because as a teenager you probably don't know much about the stocks market, but you don't have to. I would just invest every penny I would save into the ETF that invests in the S&P 500. Whatever happens, I can be confident that my money is going to go away, and most importantly, it's going to grow. I'm not going to touch that money at all, not buying the car or anything else. I would just let the growth and build wealth. And with the power of the compounding, once I'm an adult, I would have some real wealth. Number two, don't spend money. I know that sounds weird, but you literally can avoid 99% of the expenses that adults usually have. Do you need a roof over your heads? Just keep living with your parents. Do you want to eat? Eat at home. And you don't even have to cook. Of course, there's exceptions, but if you are watching this video from the first or second world country, which should be the case according to YouTube statistics, then you're the most likely able to do that. Once you grow up and you have responsibilities, it's much more difficult. Trust me, if you haven't tried living alone and paying all the bills by yourself, you will never understand it. So take my word, once you start a family and have the kids, savings money will become the dream that you will not mostly like to achieve. So save every penny you can while you have the opportunity and invest in the ETF of your choice. And your God's sakes, when you hit this 18, 19 or 20, don't use that money to buy a car, because getting the car means a lot of the monthly expenses. Every dollar that you spend on the maintain that car could be invested, and with the power of the compounding invest could grow significantly. But in order to save, you have to make money. If your parents are giving you pocket money, good for you. If not, it's was in my case. Then three, try to make money when you don't have any skills. It's really difficult to make money because all you can do is to get a low-paying job. But when you are teenagers, you can afford to take the risks. If you ended up falling, no one really cares. You are a teenager. No one expects you to build a successful company when you are just 16 years old. And you know what? You still have a roof over your heads because you are living with your parents, and you don't have to worry about what you are going to eat because you can always eat at home. So if you are the gamer, try streaming, maybe make a YouTube videos, open a Fiverr account and find out if you can offer any services. Try door-to-door selling, try to sell something online. If you have to got a better idea, try it. The best time to try is when you are a teenager. You will never have such opportunities again. Don't think about failure. If you succeed, good for you. If you don't, it doesn't matter. I remember helping people fixing their computers back when YouTube wasn't a thing. You couldn't simply watch YouTube videos to find out how to fix your computer, especially now with all of these opportunities. As long as you have the access to internet, you have no excuses. Keep learning. And as a teenager, especially when you're 17 or 18 years old, you think that you have figured everything out. Trust me, you haven't. You are thinking that because of how little you know about everything. So make learning your first priority. Don't assume you know about everything about money just because you could earn a few $100s. Don't hesitate to take the piece of the advice from someone older than you. Don't assume you have figured everything out just because you watch the YouTube videos. Get yourself ready once the opportunity strikes. You probably already have heard that most of the money is made during the crisis, but it's not made by the random people, but rather by those who were getting ready for such an opportunity years ago. Those who saved enough money to understood how the economy works, made fortune in the 2020, otherwise built their founders during the crypto crisis or during the real estate crash. So if you are not selling the instant properties, progress now, don't worry, just keep hustling. Your time will come, be ready for it. Building wealth is a great investing, but build businesses is of course awesome, but it doesn't worth it if you are not going to have fun. Make sure you have fun along the way, especially when you're a teenager. You are not going to be a teenager again, so don't miss this opportunity to create some unforgettable memories. Always give this video a thumbs up, and if you have found it helpful, and remember that you can get 2 free stocks from the Weibo if you open the account and deposit $100. Make sure to subscribe if you are new around here and turn on your notifications. Thanks for watching, and until next time.